Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. J. Thanks for joining me today. So what I have for you in this video is your writing assignment this week for Memorial Day. Now Memorial Day is coming up a week from Monday, so we're kind of planning and preparing and learning about our holiday before it comes. Now if you think back in the fall and you remember in November, our school had a really big important celebration for Veterans Day. Memorial Day is just as important as Veterans Day. However, although these two holidays are similar in that they celebrate the same group of people in our country that have served in the armed services, the purposes behind the two holidays is very different. So I want you to think back about how we celebrated Veterans Day together. And then as you learn about and you read about Memorial Day, and I want you to think about the word memorial. It kind of reminds me of the word memory, like having a memory of something. So think about Memorial Day as you do your reading. So this paragraph is going to be a little bit of an informational paragraph and a little bit of a personal narrative. So there's an article in the framework that you can go in and read works, and you can read that. There's also an article that I sent you with some information about Memorial Day that you'll need to finish this writing assignment. So I have the topics and the questions that you're going to write about. You can put it in a paragraph. If your little sections of the paragraph and the boxes get too big and you want to separate them out, like if you've just got more than a sentence or two, if you end up with 3 or 4 sentences, you might want to make some baby paragraphs, and you might end up with more than like an essay instead of a paragraph, and that's okay too. So whether you write a paragraph or if you extend it out a little bit and you make your sections each a little bit bigger and longer, and then you make those like baby paragraphs and make an essay, that's okay too. All right, so you have to read the article that I sent you about Memorial Day and go into ReadWorks if you can. If you didn't sign into that, you can use the article that I sent you just as easily. So you're going to be writing about Memorial Day. Now the first thing that you have to find out, and of course we're going to have our introduction here. And you should be getting pretty good at an introduction. It's just simply a sentence where you want to tell your reader what they're going to be reading about. In this case, it's about celebrating Memorial Day. So the first question that you need to find out and get information on is, what is Memorial Day? Because I told you it's very similar to Veterans Day, but there's a different purpose. Memorial Day is different from Veterans Day. Why is it different? Why do we celebrate it? And when do we celebrate it? Because Memorial Day is always on a specific day in the month of May. I'll give you that. So figure out why. Veterans Day used to also be called a different holiday. It started, I'll give you another little hint, after a very special war in our country. And it did have a different name, and then eventually it was officially named Memorial Day. So see what you can learn and find out about that. And this information will go here in the first part of your Foursquare. So this is going to be information about Memorial Day. So you're going to tell your reader here, what is Memorial Day? Why do we have Memorial Day? And when is Memorial Day? Okay, so that's a little bit of extra added information. I think if you look at the framework, it just says tell 2 ways that you celebrate Memorial Day, but you know, I like to change things up a little bit and raise the bar a little higher. So we're going to include a little bit of extra information in our writing. So once you have that basic information, there's lots of different ways that people celebrate Memorial Day. Just like if you think about any other holiday that we have that we celebrate, lots of different people have lots of different traditions and different things that they do. So here you're going to talk about celebrations, but you can here tell what lots of people do. you know, what's typical in our country for certain ways or certain things or certain traditions that people partake in to celebrate Memorial Day. Now, the last part is going to be about celebrations. But in this part of your paragraph or your little essay, however which way you decide to do it, you're going to tell what you do. Okay, how do you and your family celebrate Memorial Day? That's what you'll share here. And then your wrap up, of course. We always like to wrap up our writing at the end and have a happy ending so that your reader knows that they've come to the end of what it is that you're writing about. So, your Memorial Day paragraph, after you've gathered a little bit of information from the articles that I sent, you're going to tell some basic information about what it is, what is Memorial Day exactly, and remember there's a comparison to Veterans Day, but Memorial Day is different. Why do we have it? Why did they start Memorial Day? There's a really important reason why they did that. And when is it celebrated? Okay? Now, for our celebrations, you can tell what lots of people do. So we've done the what, why, the when. This is more the how. Okay? How do people go about celebrating? Okay, so how do lots of people celebrate? And then this is the personal part of the paragraph. This is the how, telling what you do to celebrate Memorial Day. Maybe you have some traditions in your family that you always follow on Memorial Day, because it is a special weekend and it is exciting because we have a day off of school. Although it kind of, well, we've been out of school, but we've not been off of school. But usually Memorial Day is a pretty big deal. You know, people kind of think it's the beginning of summer, the official start to summer. But there's a very somber, important reason behind Memorial Day. And I want you to see if you can learn about that and figure out what it is. And then share with me how other people you know or that you read about celebrate Memorial Day and what you do to celebrate Memorial Day. And put that in a nice organized paragraph for me. And I am going to put up a video too, also how to do a Google Doc. So if you want to practice typing your paragraph in a Google Doc, try it out and send me your paragraph. I'd love to read it and look at it. All right, good luck with that. Have fun writing. I know you can do your best. Bye.